Here is CJ Ham, 7th year from Augustana, and I was wondering when I put this together, when's the last time somebody called you by your birth name of Cortez?
Actually, every once in a while.
God's cartoon character broke whatever was on your mind, made you smile, and I got a little chuckle out of it. Old school, best school. We see those things. Anyway, continue.
It's probably Kirk. Kirk is probably the only one who will just always call me Cortez every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
So Cortez.
Yep.
Offset right. Cortez, don't you know? I mean, okay, well, let me stretch it. Cortez Thaddeus Ham Jr. I mean, that's a beautiful name right there.
Appreciate it.
Well, why CJ and not CT? I mean, some Thaddeus is taking an L here through somebody's lineage or whatever.
I mean, it was just a Cortez Jr. I mean, so that's where the CJ came from, and that's all I've ever known.
Yeah, I understand. So, has it always been CJ? I mean, like when, let's say, Duluth or whatever, Denfeld, or before Augustana, middle school, mom gets mad at you. It was like CJ when you were at practice and doing chores and stuff like that. But when she was mad at you, did she drop a Cortez on you?
No, no one really called me Cortez in my family. Just because that was my dad's name.
Yeah.
My dad's nickname is Co, and for me it was either CJ or they just call me C.
Yeah. I forgot to stamp this. Hold on, because I'm in a weird spot as producer and host guy. Vikings.com, CJ Ham, one of our very favorites. He's the inspirational leader of the running backs room, 7th year from Augustana. He's a battering ram, and he happens to be one of my favorites. Don't leave home without him. So CJ, do you enjoy joint practices? And it's a weird question because we're middle-ish training camp, and bodies and minds start to get tired. But nevertheless, enjoy. Like with your role, I mean, you're smacking people and they're smacking you and you're setting up things and stuff like that. Do you enjoy this time of training camp and a joint practice?
100%. I mean, we've been grinding for, I don't even know anymore. All the days kind of get lumped together, but we've been going against each other for so long. So it's just nice to get some fresh faces in here. You don't necessarily know what to expect, but that's what makes football so fun. You never know what to expect. So you're just getting out here and competing against another team. It's always fun.
How would you define your role on offense? And the reason I ask is because Dalvin's gone. Josh Oliver's here. So, I mean, clearly there are some changes changes always take place, but changes with the running game and stuff like that. How do you like your role and for what you can share? What is your role with this offense?
I kind of say the same thing every year. It's the position I play. I'm traditionally a fullback, but I get asked to do a lot of things. Over my course of my career, I've been asked to do a lot of things, line up in a lot of different positions, and really just say I do whatever the team asks me to do. Whether that's lining up at fullback 20 snaps, lining out in the slot, lining out wide, lining out in the tight end position, lining at H, whatever they ask me to do, whatever they need. That's kind of my role.
CJ, are you at a stage of your career where when you know you're not going to play in that first preseason game, you're like, yes? Or is it now I want to get out there? I mean, I got iron to be sharpened, and I want to sharpen their iron. They want to sharpen mine. Because you've played a fair amount of early preseason games where starters didn't play. Are you at that stage of your career where you're like, hey, I'm good?
I'm really at the stage where whenever my name is called, I'm ready to go. Whether that's
So in other words, you enjoy the chill and don't want to say it.
I mean,
you've worked hard, CJ. You can smell the roses for a minute.
I definitely appreciate that. But if I was called to play in that first preseason game, I would 100% be ready to go and do it.
100%. How well have you gotten to know Najee Thompson? I'm obsessed with him. I'd like to explain why. I mean, how well do you know him?
I mean, in all the special teams meetings, he obviously just made a name for himself in that first preseason game and the things that he was doing, and I was super excited for him. And I told him right away, I'm like, hey, man, you can do this. Now it's time to perfect your craft and, just be that guy.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it that way. So, you've sat down and chat. I mean, because I've done these interviews and been in this thing so long, you just don't come across players ever, except maybe you, who are like, paraphrasing. I was at Georgia Southern, and I was going to be a wide receiver, and they're running the triple option. So we're going to move me over to corner, and I could play corner, and I can jam you at the line, but that's probably not going to keep me in the NFL 10 or 15 years. So for the last 4 years, I've dedicated myself to special teams to become the best special teams Georgia Southern player in the history of McKinnon School, Jarek McKinnon School. And that's what I'm going to do here. So to be like, to come into it like, I want to be the next old school name, you'll probably know it, Chris Walsh. I want to be the next Marcus Sherrills. You just never hear that from rookies. And it's a wonderful route to making the team, right?
That's special because majority of the time these guys come in drafted, undrafted. They're the stars of their team, and they didn't play barely any special teams. Before I got here, I didn't play any special teams.
Wow.
So to hear that about Najee.
Yeah.
To, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I've done. This is what I'm, this is what
I just told you something you didn't know?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
So,
that's completely accurate from when you guys chat in the room.
Yeah, so that's pretty special, and I'm super excited for him.
Yeah, it's 100% accurate. We're lockstep with the gospel, so there's no lying with that. And I just was eye-open. Yeah, my eyes were open, man, when he said that. All right, I know you might be in a hurry here, so I'll get you out of here. Very kind of a controversial question. I like to let you know when these are coming before they transpire. So. Sioux Falls pastor Adam Weber, salt of the earth. Have you seen him lately? How's he doing?
I haven't seen him lately, but we did just text like last week.
Yeah, what a nice man he is. Just a wonderful, wonderful man. When you're done, do you want to coach and or teach football and track and field? Because that's what the Wikipedia page says.
Is that the controversial question?
There isn't one. I just wanted to. I got you thinking about it.
No.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
Kari Blasingame, can you please? Anyway, go ahead.
I've been thinking about this stuff a lot. My wife always asks me, "What do you want to do?" And there's always so many avenues that we could go down. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what I want to do. I always say, I don't want to coach, but I feel like coaching opportunities are going to come my way. Teaching opportunities are going to come my way. I went to school to be a teacher, and I'm going to have to make a decision on what I want to do, obviously. But at the end of the day, what I want to do, first and foremost, is just impact people.
Yep.
Do what I can for the kingdom. Just share light and share love, and whatever that looks like. I don't know yet, but I know I want it to be meaningful, and I'm going to let God take the wheel on that.
Beautiful. Maybe you get into that fullback money, find a building, buy the building, bring Adam to Minnesota, use yours truly, and part of your army of angels, and start a church, something like that.
You never know.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
That would be beautiful.
Just like you, C.J. Ham, otherwise known as Cortez Thaddeus Ham Jr., fantastic football player, and I look forward to watching you out there against Tennessee, all right?
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. That's C.J. Ham. 9 to noon continues after this.